Your access level has recently increased. Excellent. Incoming message.
Good evening and welcome to Behind the Scanner. Your hosts for tonight are Andrew Krug from Virginia, Daphne D. from Washington, D.C., and Jorge Pedrero from Mexico City. Our special guests tonight are Sara Bee and Ramon LaBestia. Welcome to the show. The Q&A tool is enabled for tonight's broadcast. Submit your questions throughout the show and we'll ask as many as time allows. If you know someone who would make a great guest, submit their information to us at bit.ly/BTS_guest. Finally, you can watch past episodes and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/behindthescanner. And now, your hosts of Behind the Scanner. Good evening, agents. Welcome to episode 26 of Behind the Scanner. The hangouts have been kind of wonky the last few days, and as you might have noticed, this is Kelly Colton stepping in for Daphne D. She was having a little bit of equipment failure today. So let's just hope that we don't have any more technical difficulties, and let's get the show going. So tonight, our first guest, she might not skip the streets like Laverne and Shirley, but she definitely knows how to enjoy a good brew. She's a very close personal friend of mine, and I'm really excited to introduce you all to Sara Bee from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome, Sara.
Hey, welcome, Sara.
Welcome.
Got to do that.
There you are.
Hi.
Kelly totally whiffed on the whole Yackleberry snarf flat thing, so
Sorry,
I will,
I had a
welcome,
technical
Yackleberry.
difficulty there.
It's all good.
Should have let her in on the secret sooner.
Yeah, that's true. So, well, welcome. The honor tonight is truly yours, Sara. So thank you for joining us. Getting to know you, you describe yourself as a massage therapist, but you say you'd rather have a PhD in quantum physics. So I guess I'm curious. You fascinate me. What is it about quantum physics that you find so fascinating?
Of course, I saw what is it, the Rabbit Hole movie, and got really interested in quantum physics. Realized that I was probably too smart to be a massage therapist, and decided that maybe that's the track I should go on. But after a long talk with a professor, I figured out that in about 20 years I'd be a quantum physicist. But I generally just like math. I like the patterns in nature. I like everything about math, and I would love to become a quantum physicist to blink people out of existence.
Nice.
So, I know tonight is going to be very punny. I don't know if a lot of people know how very funny you are. During the day, so we know that you're giving massages, and at night you're giving some happy endings, but different kind of happy endings, because you're an improv comedian, and I had the pleasure of coming up to see one of your shows. So, kind of explain to our viewers, does comedy come natural to you? How did you get your start?
Well, I suppose if you'd ask my brothers, I've been a goofball since I was a kid. They were in some plays when I was in high school, so I thought I'd follow the lead and be in some plays as well. And then I was in a musical in college where I was a singing nun, Surprise, surprise. And then I kind of moved around, moved to Boston, moved to Atlanta, moved to Vegas, came back from Vegas about 5 or 6 years ago, and my friend Patrick had gotten into comedy sports, which is in Milwaukee, I think in Chicago, there's locations around the world, and he was like, I do this improv class, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. So I did it, and I ended up being pretty good at it, and then he runs, as you saw, Kelly, this program called Sketch 22, and it's very intense. It's like Saturday Night Live, but in 24 hours, and it's really awesome, and I love being funny, and I like being in front of the stage. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's all come really naturally. I guess I just have a quick wit and a sharp mind.
Good. Well, Sarah, the Midwest is kind of a comedy maker with many great places, all with driving distances, including the second city based out of Chicago. How nerve-wracking can it be up on stage, and what are your best and worst moments?
It's very nerve-wracking being up on stage. My knees shake pretty much every time. But I like being nervous. I like scaring myself every day. It's something that you need to do. Probably my best moment on stage would be probably that musical that I was in college, just because it was a musical. I got to sing. I had a solo song. I got to dance. I got to be a nun. And then probably my worst moment, I've lost lines, and I've had people lost lines, and then of course you have to sit there and try to backtrack or try to move it forward, and that's always really difficult to do.
Yeah, and nerves are always there.
Yeah.
Do you do things like imagine the audience naked with black socks and those sort of tips that you hear?
No, I don't generally. I just try to think about the conversation that I'm having right then and there, and hopefully I'll get it right. Hopefully I memorized it all right and it'll all come out.
Well, I don't envy you. And actually, speaking of nerves, if anybody's watching this and you want to ask Sarah a question,
Well, this show I saw.
On the Q&A button up in the, I think it's the upper right, and just type at Sarah and ask your question, and we will get to them as soon as possible. So, with that, something else besides the fact that you're really, really funny. Last year was your first year doing a 24-hour bike race called the River West 24. Why, I guess, would be a question I have. And can you also talk a little bit about what River West is?
Yeah, sure. River West is just a section of the east side in Milwaukee that runs from Humboldt to Holton, from north to Capitol, and it's a small area of town that just has developed into a place where the hipsters, the hippies, the urban gardens are, where where all the co-ops are, the hairy armpits, the Rasta bands, all that stuff.
So it's got a nice smell to it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot, like patchouli and clove cigarettes. Anyway, so the River West 24, that's a really, actually, last year was my first year. Last year was my fourth year. And yeah, I bike anywhere from 80 to 100 miles. There's like a scavenger hunt mixed in between. It's not a point A to point B. It's how many laps can you do in 24 hours. It's a lot of fun. And I usually stay up for about 36 hours. I'm usually up from the morning of all the way through until the next night.
Cool. So, Sarah, kind of getting into your Ingress life, as a fellow female Ingress player, it's no secret that, we're outnumbered by the males, the men in the room here. But you were actually the first level 8 female agent in Wisconsin. And, with things like Gamergate being a trending topic, do you feel that you were treated differently being a female in the game, or are you just sort of seen as another agent?
No, I definitely feel like I get treated differently being a female. some in good ways, some in bad ways. You know, I've had people ask me, you know, why am I wandering around River West at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know, doesn't anybody worry about me? And it's just like, well, I can take care of myself. When I first started, nobody thought I was a girl, which I was very happy about. They all thought I was a guy. And then once it creeped out that I was a girl, it was pretty impressive. Because back then, like, I leveled at 8 in 17 days, and that was sort of a big deal. But I mean, there were like what, a whole like 10 players in the world, so I mean that was a big deal. But I mean, yeah, I do believe that I get treated differently. You know, maybe sometimes I don't get listened to. Sometimes, you know, it's somebody else that they refer to for information. Not that I know it all, but it's just like, yeah, sometimes I get put off to the side. But it's okay. I mean, that's just kind of how it is in this world of men. I just try to fight for us.
Okay.
Keep it up, Sarah.
You're doing well. Even Kelly, and we have in this game a lot of really successful women and powerful women. I think you overcome the low number you have in the game with this smart thing that every woman have, and all the well organized people, and I don't know, women are awesome. And well, it will be a good day in gamer community at large.
Are you saying that we're better at cleaning up? Which is true. We are better at cleaning up.
I think I'm saying you're better at cleaning up and also organizing the cleanup as well.
Yeah. I can organize your community and your closet.
Okay.
Just let me have at it. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, women are softer. We're able to handle emotional situations with these ragey boys around. They get all mad and mouthy, and you're all telling them to calm down, and they won't calm down. But I don't know. Eventually, they do. Girls just, I don't know. We just handle things differently.
Got a higher tolerance, definitely.
Well, I haven't seen as many women like get that sense of portal rage. You know, like road rage. But
right. I agree with that. There certainly
like
isn't.
Usually the guys that kind of flip out over their portals.
Right.
You haven't played with our very own Daphne yet, then, have you, Miss Parker?
You know, portals are like women to them, Kelly. Portals are like women.
We're protective. We're possessive and protective.
That's my portal. That's my reservoir. That's my very rare shield.
And we try to upgrade you, but it doesn't always work, and somebody always tells you what we do and takes it away. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We try to do that whole linking thing to get more than one, and it never works, right? Something always comes. So, anyway.
Andrew, I'm calling your wife later.
Yeah. You're in trouble, man.
This isn't being recorded, right?
No.
No. Oh, no. Well, Sarah, let's talk a bit about your agent name. You claim to be the original Urban. Where did Urban Cashmere come from, and how many Urban agents are there?
Well, the secret to Urban Cashmere is simply it's an anagram for something close to my heart. But basically what it came down to, and here's like the quick synopsis of it, is that the disasters in Chicago started developing, and there was a bunch of them. Like they came in this huge group. Well, we had Frag Niner, aka Morgan Squires, who was from Chicago, moved to Milwaukee, was badass players of all badass players, and he I don't know, he was just like, he was really pumped because he loved the disasters, and he's like, we should start a clan, and like, what should our name be? And nobody knew, and I know that there was a strategic reason why they picked disaster, but Jeremy Gulig, another close friend of mine up in Sheboygan, he suggested, well, why don't you guys do it for, you know, your leader, Urban Cashmere. And I was just like, pshaw, that's silly. And Morgan's like, no, I love it. Let's do this, you know. And so we came up with all these names, and all these people changed their names, and they all did it on like at the same time. So like, God, it was like 8 or 9 Urbans all popped up all at once. It was crazy. And then after that, it just kind of became this thing. Like, well, I want to be an Urban. What does it take to be an Urban? What? I want to be an Urban. And I was just like, what? I'm like, why do you want to be an Urban? I'm like, it's not like. I mean, it's a great thing to be, you know what I mean? And if you want to be awesome like myself, then please join in. And I don't know, there's like, what did we count? There's like 40 to 50 Urbans, probably about 30 to 35 of them real active, and they're not just in Wisconsin. We've got 2 in Minnesota. There's 2 in Chicago, I think, 1 in Indiana. You know, most of them are in Milwaukee, but there's a couple like in Madison and stuff too. That's my final answer.
So, according to the anagram solver, a manure's breach is an anagram for Urban Cashmere.
Manure's breach?
A manure's
So is Sunbeam Archer. There's a
yeah. Amoeba cheer runs also. So yeah, there you go. We know that you have a thing for manure, I guess, possibly.
Perhaps. Well, if I ever flip blue, maybe I'll use manure. Cheer? No. Okay. No.
Yeah. Don't try. It won't. All right. Well, you also call yourself a basket weaver of links and fields, I think is the term that you use. So
Correct.
There's been a very vocal issue going on surrounding temporary bans and folks using Intel recently. Have you been bitten by the Intel temp ban yet? And I guess what is your take on the situation?
Yeah. I have heard about that. My whole thing is, what's an Intel map? Unfortunately, I'm kind of an organic player in the sense that I don't play with an Intel map. I don't know how to use IITC. I think I look at the Intel map just in case. Like, I think I use it once in a great while, but what ends up happening is I actually gather up a bunch of keys and I base my fields off of whatever keys. And if you look at the River West area code 53212, you can see that there's a large density of portals, and I don't know, I pick a portal and I go pew pew pew, and I go back and I pew pew pew, and I go back and I pew pew pew. So I mean, I have these like long, stringy, thin, layered fields that I just call basket weaving. I mean, I don't know if that's really a term or whatever. I mean, it's kind of like bacon cape. You just go with it. Looks like bacon cape. I'm going with bacon cape. Basket weaving. It's basket weaving.
I think some people would call those goat links. You haven't been in my neighborhood at all, have you? Because there's just like links just going everywhere with no rhyme or reason.
Oh, no. I have rhyme or reason. It's
From one point to the next. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Sarah, the first time I think you and I met was actually at the Lake Geneva, Wisconsin anomaly. You have been playing for a long time now, and played in pretty much every series that's come through the Midwest. How do you think that first anomaly series, back in 2013, how would you say that compares, to the most recent ones? And what do you think that Niantic could do to improve them?
Well, right. I mean, right, Kelly, you were at Lake Geneva. So, I mean, it's like, it's a world apart from the two of them. It's like, Lake Geneva was what, like 30, 40 people, and, Chicago was like 600 or whatever craziness. I mean, we had the after party in a bar, and we barely filled it. The one thing, the two things that I think I would like to change about the anomalies is, and what drives me crazy, is that I would love to see what my stats were like before or after, at least afterwards, or see like how people ranked up. Like, I know people kind of have formed their own information and made their own data sheets, and I've seen like Billy Ray won, like he was at the top of Chicago, in the top 10 for most of the stuff in Chicago for Helios. But I would really like to know, because I don't know, maybe I could go back and reward the people that did really well. The other thing is that maybe marking the portals, with the missions now, you can mark all sorts of stuff. I think it would be kind of neat if you could mark the portals that are in the cluster Not necessarily, obviously, the volatile, but at least if the out-of-towners would know where the portals are, the ones, especially the ones in the cars, it would probably be a lot easier for us to find said clusters instead of getting lost and crazy, especially in a place like Chicago. Madison probably wasn't so bad, but Chicago, oh man, you take a wrong turn and you're back in Wisconsin.
Sarah, would you punish the people who do bad in the anomaly?
Say again?
I was asking you if you would punish the people who do bad in the anomaly.
No. I mean, well, maybe with spankings.
Okay. All in a row?
Yes.
Like
yes.
Giving coats or badges?
Wire hangers, Mommy
Okay.
Dearest style, maybe.
Okay. Great.
Could I have some?
Well, with all your travels and experiences, what is the one that defines Ingress in your mind?
Oh, there's so many. Just because I have traveled to St. Louis, I mean, basically Chicago and back every month, for the past year. Probably the best experience was the day that, Brian Martin rented a van, picked up people all the way from Chicago to Kenosha to Racine. What was it, a 15-passenger van full of ingressors plus 2 or 3 other cars where they plowed through the 3rd Ward, which is notoriously blue all the time, ate it up in 15 minutes. They came and cleared it during my show that everyone came to see. So that was the cool thing, is that I had a comedy show that night, so they based it off of this. They all got in this van, came up and tore through southeastern Wisconsin, Milwaukee, made 157 P8s in Milwaukee. I mean, we hadn't seen that in months. It was crazy, or ever. I mean, ever, first off, but I mean, that many, or, that many 8s in months. They came and saw the show, and then we smashed and redid the 3rd Ward all over again. 3 times we did it. Like twice before the show, and then once after the show. It was crazy. So we call that the van gressing trips to kill all van gressing trips.
That was a fun time. We have to do that more often.
Yes, please.
So much fun.
There is a sketch 22 coming in January, so hopefully I'll be in that. You can come and see me.
Sounds good. So, in regards to Ingress, how have you stayed so engaged and motivated to keep playing after all this time, being one of the old school agents?
Can I say it's the free whiskey that I get from all the boys? I would say, honestly, it's everybody that I've met. When I don't think I've ever given up hope on anybody. I think I've met people that'll be at my wedding, at my funeral. They'll be, I'll know them for the rest of my life, and I keep meeting people that I'm just like, damn it, I need another friend like you. You're awesome, and I want to be, and just all the people that I've met has been amazing, and they drive me around, and they're crazy, and they're up at all hours of the night, and do stuff for me, and it's just, I don't know. I mean, how can you not like being me? Do appreciate everybody that I've met and become friends with in this game, because I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. How can you not want to hang out with some of these people all the time?
There are some people I'm glad there's just one of, though. I will say that.
True.
Speaking of that, hey, let's see what the friends have to say. Ready to?
Well, are you ready for some of the audience questions, Sarah? Sorry.
No.
No?
No.
Well,
but go ahead. Sure. I'll try my best.
Well, first of all, why did you choose the Enlightened?
Oh, why? Well, because, okay, I've had urban cashmere for a long time. When I lived in Boston back in the late 90s, there was an anagram server. I put in a bunch of stuff, and it mixed it all up, and it was like, right, it was like urban cashmere, sunbeam archer, as Andrew Krug read some off. I mean, there were some pretty awful combinations, and urban cashmere seemed to be the coolest one. And at the time, actually, I was learning how to spin records, and I thought I was going to be a world famous DJ, so I thought urban cashmere would be a really cool DJ name.
DJ.
I think that's a cool DJ name.
How's that going for you?
Spinning records, awesome. Awesome. I'm playing my living room next week if you want to come by.
That's a hot ticket.
Free admission. The bar's never stopped.
Sweet. One of your friends, I assume, Donald Thomas, would like to know, do you have that one special portal by that one special nemesis that you will go out of your way daily to take out if it's been flipped?
Oh, sorry, the audio cut out for the first part of it. Could you ask it again, Andrew? I'm sorry.
Sure, I'd love to. Do you have that one special portal by that one special nemesis that you will go out of your way daily to take out if it's been flipped?
I don't think so. I don't know, because I was taught a long time ago that no portal is sacred, so I've kept that in my mind. So I don't even have a guardian, if that helps. Like, I was lucky to have my 90-day. So nope, I don't find any portal sacred. Nothing that affects everything to get blown up within seconds of me building it.
Nice. All right. So no attachment issues.
What?
That's
Yeah. I have anger issues.
All right. So you talked about the longest that you've stayed up bicycling in circles. What's the longest that you've stayed up playing Ingress?
24 hours. I think when I was trying to level through 8, I had a series of people pick me up throughout the day and like drive me around so I could smash stuff and deploy. So I was very lucky, and I ended up aiding with my brother Ed, who I clearly surpassed playing. And I was like down to 1,000. He was just like, "No, you can do this," and I'm like, "No, I can't do it. I'll just wait till tomorrow morning." He's like, "Do it." And I was like, "All right." So I did it, and I smashed it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm at 8. Take me home to go to bed, please. Just take me home."
You didn't fire off that one ceremonial like level 8 burster before you went to bed?
Yeah, but it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I had to wake up at 6, and I was like, "Hooray, I'm an 8." It was an exhausting day. 15 hours of like staring at that screen, mashing buttons. Gotta say that, Right, poor battery pack.
All right, I think that's all we got for the questions tonight. So, you have any more? We'll ask them afterwards, or we'll get to them.
Okay. Well, Sarah, one thing that we've been doing with our guests is if there's anything we haven't covered or if there's something on your mind, we've been giving our guests the floor. And so you can take the mic for 60 seconds. Talk about anything that's on your mind.
Oh my gosh. Starting now. Truces suck. Don't win trade. Have ingress. Will travel. Go, go, go. A sitting inventory is a wasted inventory. Quit carrying so many darn keys. No, I don't want your link amps. No, I don't want any more power cubes. The artifacts suck. We need an anomaly in Milwaukee. What else can I say? I'm starting to write another play, so you should come and see that. It's probably sometime next year. Come adopt a cat at the Cat Doctor. in the 3rd Ward in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Save
I'm just gonna let you
try
go
to
because this is
cowboy.
entertaining. Just keep going.
Eat your veggies, brush your teeth. Oh.
Sorry, that's the sound. Sorry, you got to cut you off there. All right.
Thank you, Sarah.
Anyway, but yeah, so.
No,
Those
you
are
did
all
well. We
great
appreciate
words
it.
of
Thank you.
advice. Just awesome. Thank you.
As somebody who was born and raised in Wisconsin, thank you for representing us.
Of course, the problem is that I hate beer, but I like whiskey.
What kind of whiskey is your favorite?
Unfortunately, I'm drinking Boulay tonight, but I prefer Maker's Mark. I like any sort of Kentucky bourbon. Hopefully, we'll have an urban bourbon soon enough. I'm waiting. Urban bourbon.
Urban bourbon.
We're looking. Applications are being taken now.
Well, it's been a total pleasure to have you on the show, Sarah.
Anytime. Next time I'll do it from the bubble bath.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that
Sounds
would
like
be
the
great.
topless episode.
I'm there, right there with you. So I
No,
don't
We have the
Andrew,
bubble bath episode.
just women, please, Andrew.
I think, you know,
don't want
most
some of
kids,
the big
they
hairy
put the
legs.
bubble bath as like a mohawk and like a beard. Like, Andrew, you already have the beard going, so it'd be perfect.
There are other places I can put the bubbles, though.
Oh my God. It's starting. Sarah, say.
All right, from one Wisconsin to another, thank you, Sarah, for coming. And
Keep this
I
family
will.
show.
I've got family in Waukesha, so when I get up there, I'm gonna hit you up. Yes, I do. Yes, I get up there a lot. Anyway, all right. So before we introduce our next guest, we've got a new segment on BTS that we're calling Code of the Show, and it's right there. I don't know if I'm on camera or not. Jesse,
No, you are not. The camera is
not.
Oh,
There we go. There's it.
Oh,
That's
the
right.
code of the show.
Yay, Vanna White. The code of the show. Wow. Wow. You can share it with multiple your. I don't know if it's good for 20 or 500 or 1,000. Niantic's been nice enough to give us a few of these, so we're going to give these away every week. I have no idea what they hold. Hopefully it's not just level 1 bursers. If it is, write your congressman. Let's see what happens. So there you go.
Well, and today we are celebrating the 6 months honor.
That's right. 26 months. No. 26 episodes. What'd you say?
6 weeks, half of the year.
That's true. And now it's gone. It was for a limited time only. Ada removed it. So if you didn't get it, I guess it's back.
Ooh.
All right. So with that, let's move on to our next guest.
Well,
Finish your wine, though. Finish your wine. Make sure you're
Oh? No, come on. No. Oh. Well,
What kind of wine are you drinking today, Jorge?
it's a clary cup. You know what is that? I don't know.
The red
It's
one.
the name in English too.
red.
It's red with fruit.
Sangria.
Oh.
He's got sangria going on.
Nice.
Mm. Well,
Can you tell I have kids? This is what I'm. Oh, you can't.
yeah, whatever.
There you go.
Oh, that's cool. I can see right
Yeah,
through
it's
your
good.
hand, Andrew.
Yeah.
That it goes transparent on the dragon or whatever it's on the front of the juice. Well, guys, our next guest comes from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Please welcome Ramon LaBestia. Welcome, Ramon.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is actually a really big honor, so cheers.
Oh, the honor is ours. Oh, well. Ramon, welcome to BPS. After the show, we'll make some sure to get you Sarah contact information because you actually were a physicist teacher for 12 years, right?
Yes, yes. I was a physics teacher for 12 years, and I've spent the last 4 years as an assistant principal.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I said physicist, right? Sorry.
Yeah, physics, yeah.
Yeah, physics.
Well, it's funny because I was listening to her talk, and she has interest in theoretical physics, which at one point I was like playing with that to be my major, and I accidentally ended up in education.
Wow.
How does that happen? How does one go from
Yeah.
You know what? I had a friend who talked me into working at this summer camp as a teacher, and I realized I was really good at it. And there's this weird tie-in between science and teaching because you have to be able to think on things in multiple planes. And I guess I was really good at it, and it came across. And I have a passion for working with kids. Like I have zero patience for working with adults because like it's my mentality that you're an adult, you have no excuse. But for some reason, children, it's okay.
Okay. So you find a lot of those growing kids on English, right?
Yes, you do meet a lot of big kids on Ingress.
So speaking of the kiddos, Halloween is coming up, and anyone on Google Plus knows that you're not afraid of donning some face paint or dressing up. So with Halloween coming, is that something that you get excited about? If
Oh
so,
my God.
what are you going to be this year?
So I have two costumes planned out. If you don't know this about me, I'm very, very big into cosplay. Matter of fact, Halloween in my house is bigger than Christmas. My kids get dressed up. My wife gets dressed up. And sometimes our costumes are planned 6 months, a year in advance. So this year I'm planning to dress up as Lobo from DC Comics and from the video game. So I'm really looking forward to that. I got the contact lenses ready, and I have to. I was actually just talking today with my wife about it because we have to airbrush my skin white in order to do it. And,
yeah.
And I have these cool.
Is that racist? Is going in whiteface racist?
Yeah. You know what? I was just reading something not that long ago where they gave somebody grief for doing cosplay in blackface. She dressed up like one of the Walking Dead characters, Michonne, and they gave her a lot of grief over that. And it was a girl from Germany who dressed up in blackface to do Michonne, and it became like this big thing on the internet for a while. So yeah, you know what? I want to be the first guy to do it in whiteface.
That's awesome.
Well, that's a really cool character. But well, let's go to characters or emblematic characters. You describe yourself as a nerds, right?
Mm-hmm. Nerd, yeah.
So, Star Wars or Star Trek? And a bonus point, which Doctor Who was the best?
Okay. Star Trek wishes it could have the glory that Star Wars has, and I have to go with Star Wars because I have a Rebel Alliance tattoo on my forearm, so that's how serious it is for me.
Wow.
No, I've been like passionately into Star Wars since I was 3 years old. It's I think it's the first movie I remember watching with my father, so it made a huge impact on me.
You are one of those that build your lightsaber and everything?
Yes, I actually have 6 or 7 different lightsabers that I built myself. I bought the kits. That was, I have many addictions, and that was one of them. And it's all nerdy stuff. And my wife is actually a Whovian, and I'm a big Doctor Who fan. So my favorite Doctor is number 5. But I have to give credit to Tom Baker, number 4. He was probably the longest running Doctor. And if I have to go with the new Doctors, I want to say number 9, although he was only on for 1 season. But 10 grew on me. So
Okay.
I just threw numbers at you.
Yeah. I have to confess this. I don't know Doctor Who.
Oh my God! You need to be plugged now.
I'm
Wow.
so sorry.
Wow.
You're the
I'm
only
not
person
really.
on Google Plus that doesn't
Oh
know
my
about Doctor Who.
I know who's Doctor Who and everything, but I'm not a fan. I had never watched a complete episode.
Oh, we have to change this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We can.
I can watch all the seasons you want if you give me one of your lightsabers.
Oh.
Done. Done. Yeah. No, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
You tell me which lightsaber you want, just so that I can get you into Doctor Who.
Okay.
Wow.
Perfect. The deal. It's
Okay.
on record. It's on record.
This is true. There's no going back now.
Just tell me which lightsaber you want.
Okay. But we discussed that after the show.
Okay.
Well, another fascinating thing about you, Ramon, is that you've been practicing, and I got to get this right. It's capoeira.
Yeah, it's pronounced capoeira.
There you go. For the last 10 years. It's kind of something that's just in the mainstream right now in the U.S. Can you talk about, maybe describe what it is and why you decided to do it for so long?
Capoeira is, and it's pronounced capoeira. It's funny because I always get people who are like, capoeira? And my mestre, who's mestre would be the teacher, he's always like, oh, capoeira, capoeira. But it's this Afro-Brazilian martial art. It started in Brazil during slave trade. And basically what happened was the slaves, in order to disguise the fact that they were training martial arts, kind of did it to this dance rhythm. And that became their way of practicing, so that nobody knew that they were actually really learning how to uprise and fight against their masters. So, but capoeira it means tall grass, because that's what they used to. Capoeira was practiced in the grass, so it was a code word that the slaves used with one another. It's become big in the last couple of years. You see it in a lot of the music videos. It's very, very big in the martial arts movies. One of the best capoeira sequences I've ever seen in a movie was from it was a Tony Jaa movie, Tum Young Goon.
Oh
They
yeah.
called it, yeah, The Protector. And there's this great scene with he's a capoeira, I think he's a contramestre now, which is like one level below master. But the guy that Tony Jaa's fighting is he's been practicing for something like 25 years, and they have this tremendously great fight sequence in the water, and it's just mind blowing. But it involves a lot of acrobatics, and in order to practice it, you have to be in. What makes it different from other martial arts, I think, is that you're not training like one specific part of your body. Your capoeira requires you to be overall fit. So that's one of the things that distinguishes it. And in order to practice it, you also need to learn how to play instruments, because music is a big part of it. So you learn how to sing, you learn how to dance. You learn how to use weapons while singing and dancing. It's really cool.
That sounds pretty cool. Do you
It
have a
is.
favorite instrument that you've learned how to play?
There's the main instrument in capoeira is called the beating bow, and it looks like a large bow and arrow, um, backwards. So the bow part would be against your chest, and you tap on the string with this kind of a gourd thing, and it I'm still learning how to play it because it's for it being a one-stringed instrument, it has like 7 different variants on it, and it's very tricky. I'm still learning after 10 years.
Wow.
So, you say that you're a nerd's nerd, and
Mhm.
what other games and specifically RPGs have you played in the past?
Oh God, I started in Dungeons and Dragons, second edition, matter of fact, and then we moved on to 2.5. And I say this because if you're into RPGs, role-playing games, not rocket propelled grenades,
I'm glad you cleared that up.
yeah, if you're into RPGs, uh, especially D&D, then that becomes the first question that everyone asks you, like which version are you playing? And I think they just moved up to 4.5 or 5, and I'm getting ready to play a game of D&D 5, so I'm actually brushing up on my books. But I played a little bit of everything. I've been a DM, which is the person that tells the story for the players. I've DM'd Marvel, Marvel superheroes game, The World of Darkness, Vampire, Mage, Werewolf. I played a little bit of every GURPS. What's the other one that we recently got into? Rips. And yeah, so like in my circle of friends, every one of us is like particularly good at one game. So we'll take turns DMing every week or two. So we'll have a different. So you never get tired of the game that you're playing because you're always playing like 3 or 4 different games at a time.
So which is the one that you dominate?
The
Which
one
is
that
the one that you are the best on?
I think Vampire and Mage because I love magic, and I like the idea behind magic. So I think that's the one that I'm best at. Although
Okay.
I'm starting to fall in love with Marvel superheroes again.
Okay, Marvel superheroes. Which hero? Lobo? Ah, no, Lobo is from DC.
Yeah, that's DC. No, I think my favorite character is Beast from X-Men.
Oh, why is that? I don't know. But, well, speaking about RPGs, in English, your agent name from the Resistance is Digital Beast. So,
Yeah.
what was the inspiration for that agent name?
Uh, my nickname since I was very young was Beast. In Spanish, Beast is bestia, and my mom would. It kind of became it's meant as it's kind of a slight insult to the child to call him a bestia, but she called me that so much that it stuck. Everybody started calling me bestia.
I don't want to ask why she called you like that so much.
Well, no, because I was one of those kids that I had to climb on top of everything, and I was jumping off of everything, and so yeah, that's how the name. But then when I got into high school, it took on a different meaning because I had gotten into comic books at that time, and I felt this affinity with the character of Beast because Beast was this really smart guy who was trapped in like uh, an athlete's body. So yeah, that's where, and I think that was the first digital because I've noticed that you see a lot of there's digital chaos and digital beast, but I think I was the first one to use digital. I'm not 100% sure on that.
So we have the first of everything here tonight. So Are you there, guys? Because I see you like frozen.
I'm gonna create urban digital when I reroll my resistance here.
Oh, or digital urban.
I like
Well,
that. I like
you
that.
can do that. You can do that. Yeah.
Or
Well, Ramon, have you been following the
or Kashmir Beast? No. Okay,
Cash?
no.
Ooh, I like that. Cashmere
Cashmere
Beast.
Beast. It's
Nice.
very chic.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It also sounds very comforting as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. Like you want to hug up to it.
Have you been following the Ingress storyline at all?
Yes, more so than I would care to admit to certain people.
So for people like myself and Jorge and Sarah, can you give us a little thumbnail as kind of what's been happening over the last 6 months?
Oh wow, 6 months. Okay, so
Yeah, how about 3 months? That's fine.
so I can't remember what side Clue is on anymore. I think she's on the Resistance now, and she's flip-flopped so many times. But Clue allowed herself to be possessed by the computer software Ada, and that caused Deborah Bogdanovich and other people to get very concerned with her. And I'm probably doing a horrible job of this. So Deborah, at the end of which Anomaly series? At the end of the last Anomaly series before Helios, Deborah decided that what was it?
Intelligence.
Enteritus, yes. At the end of Enteritus, Deborah decided that there should be another way, so she created this portal virus that has wreaked havoc on the portals, and it was causing them to die faster. And we were kind of stuck cleaning up the mess. And, constantly recharging, constantly going out to redeploy on portals because the resonators are dying off quicker. I know Jarvis. I think I'm doing a horrible job at this. Jarvis tried to start his own cult against machines and computers, humans and machines merging together, and I think that brings us to present day.
That'll work. I have no idea if you're right, so I'll just trust you. You look like a trustworthy guy.
So bravo.
Thank you for that.
So I'm curious, how did you hear about Ingress and what made you decide to pick it up and play? Were you following the storyline? Did you hear about it from a friend? Tell us.
I actually read about Ingress when it first came out, and then my cousin got an invite. He was one of the first people to get an invite, and he picked up the game for a while, but I think at the time there was only like 6 portals in this entire city. So he put it down. He didn't play for a while, and then he picked it back up right after I started playing. It kind of became a competition between the two of us, and we've been competing with each other ever since because he's always a level ahead of me. And yeah, that's how I found out about Ingress about a year and a half ago now. I've been playing.
So I have a similar question for you that I asked to Sarah. What has been your favorite experience in English today?
My favorite, you know what? It was actually preparing for the series of anomalies because I actually partook in 3 of the Helios anomalies. The one was in Philadelphia. There was another in Baltimore and another in Virginia. And I got a chance to go to 3 of them and preparing for the anomalies, because you have to have this ridiculous amount of bursters and resonators. So I think 3 weeks before the anomaly, it became this thing where it's like, all right, we're having a farm every night. And
Wow.
we kind of got, me and about 6 or 7 other people kind of got known as the farmers. So even after the anomaly, we've tried to continue that having a farm at least as often as possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of nights that we spent crowded in the minivan of Boom and just driving around, hacking 2630 portals just to try to, get as much gear as we possibly could. And even though a lot of us got our gear together early, but there was people that were struggling, so we kept the farms going as much as possible to just make sure that everybody could partake. I mean, we had one guy who raced to make 8 in like 8 days, right before the Philly anomaly.
Well,
Did he make 8?
Oh yeah, he literally made 8. I think it was like 6 hours before the anomaly.
wow.
He wasn't sleeping 6 hours before the anomaly?
he slept so long that
none of us slept before the anomaly.
All right, well, my friend, are you ready to take some viewer questions?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
All right. So the one we always get, and it seems like we got a trend going on, is why did you choose your faction? Why did you choose Resistance?
It's going to go back to the inner nerd in me. I kind of looked at the Resistance and the Enlightened kind of like the Rebel Alliance and the Empire.
I knew it.
So for me, the Resistance seemed like the underdog, and the philosophy kind of spoke to me. Like we don't know what this XM can do, and we don't know what it's capable of. So why are we tampering with it? Why, like that seemed to make sense to me.
Is that easy enough? All right. Do any of your family members play Ingress?
Yes, it's insane because I've gotten my wife to start playing, which it took a little convincing, but I finally got her to play. My daughter plays, my nieces play, my cousin plays. So Ingress kind of became this family thing that we do now, like every Sunday or 2 nights a week. It becomes this big family thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, do you mind me asking how old? Or let me ask you this question: what is the, I guess, youngest age?
14. But you know what? And there was a moment that we were kind of a little concerned about that, but the terms of service changed so that anyone with a Google account was allowed to play. So and that was one of the things, because my daughter and her cousins actually went on to start their own little like teeny bopper group. So
nice. That's pretty cool. Has your daughter made friends, I guess, outside of school and everything through Ingress?
She's made one friend, yeah, from one of the other local Resistance players. I think they chat back and forth on Hangouts now.
That's pretty cool. I think my kids are a little bit too young. He's 4 and 6, but he can definitely use his mama's iPad better than his mama can. So, all right. Daphne actually has a question that she wanted to ask since she couldn't join. It could be a really long answer. We're running a little bit over on time, but she's one of our hosts, so we'll do it for her.
Let's go.
She would like to know your thoughts on quantum physics, like Sarah described. The Rabbit Hole movie takes a more metaphysical approach to physics and science in general, and she is curious about the opinions of a more traditional physics-based person.
Okay, I think science in general is one of those things where you have to be open to the possibilities, because I think the thing that makes science special is that there's nothing set in stone. It's just this is the thing that makes the most sense, and we're going to stick with this until we come across something that either disproves the current theory or introduces something new to the paradigm. So where like math, traditionally math is one of those subjects where 2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4, but I think with physics you can play that question of sometimes 2 plus 2 can equal 5. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, from a very odd place, almost like Schrodinger's cat.
But you know what? That rabbit hole movie. What the bleep? It was actually What the Bleep Do We Know and What the Bleep Do We Know 2 Down the Rabbit Hole. Those are 2 excellent movies, and like really went out to like present science, the physical, the metaphysics of the physics of science to people. So I really love them.
Yeah, they're really fascinating videos.
Well, best. Sometimes 1 plus 1 equals 60 seconds, so you have 60 seconds to do whatever you want, sing a song, talk about everything you want. Go.
Okay, so I just want to tell everybody about the Philadelphia Allied Ingress Resistance Pair, and that's the local group in Philadelphia. So if you're a resistance player and you want to, you need help, you want to join the resistance, come look for us on our Google Plus page. Portal Wreckers. Portal Wreckers! That's the local group that I'm a part of, the mini faction. Come out, play this game. It's a wonderful game. I've met so many interesting people that I never would have met doing anything else. Don't cheat. This is one of the things that makes this game so great is, doing it on your own. So yeah, don't spoof. Spade and neuter your cats and dogs. What else? I guess
you're good. You're good. We'll give you the sad trombone. There you go. All right.
Well, Ramon, I'm so glad you were here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it, man.
And well, thank everyone for watching. Thank you, Sara, too. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, and see you next week.
Awesome. Well, have a good night, everyone, and be sure to tune back in next week when hopefully Daphne will return. And on the show, we'll also have Gina Steinborn and Melanie Diner. So, Denier. I'll have to ask her which way it is.
It's also the Halloween episode, so we're going to have our costumes.
Oh,
Is there a costume contest?
Could be.
Oh, okay.
To get a code.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Happy
Awesome.
hacking.
Happy hacking.
Good night. So in this Star Wars versus Star Trek, how is that even a contest?
It's not.
Oh, there's no contest.
Because it's totally Star Trek. It's totally Star Trek.
Oh my God!
No!
Oh no! Listen, the Federation has the ships. I'll give them that, but they don't have lightsabers. They don't have Vader. Like Palpatine can take out a whole battalion of. Send the 7th Fleet. Star Trek came first.